Today we are talking about giving back. What to give, when to give, how to give, all of that is coming up. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So one of the most fulfilling things you can do in life is to give back to others. And on this channel, we talk about saving, growing, and mastering your money, but it's important to also remember why that's important. For me, money means security, that I don't have to rely solely on a job for food and shelter, but I have to remember that not everybody is that fortunate. And even if someone has a job, it may not be enough to pay for their needs. The best thing about having resources is that once you've got yourself covered, you can use them to reach out and help others. To help explain the point, I've teamed up with my friend Mitch from Manifest Money Media. Aside from being a handsome devil, the man also puts out very thought-provoking videos, very well-produced videos about personal finance topics, so definitely go check out his channel and subscribe for really good content. Mitch, say hello.
All right, thanks for the introduction, Sean. I am super stoked to be joining together today on our channels, especially because you and I both agree that giving is such a crucial part of the wealth building process. And I think that looking at why we choose to give in the first place is a great place to start. So first of all, I look at giving as a motivator and a reason to practice financial responsibility. You know, at times it can seem boring or even uninspiring to sacrifice and live below our means. But when you have an end goal of using your financial habits to improve the well-being of others and make the world a better place, it can be a powerful shift in perspective. And since so much of the world lives in poverty, by taking good care of what you have and what you earn, giving adds a purpose to your life and expresses the gratitude you have for how much you have. Not to mention, intentionally setting aside money to give each month further reinforces good spending habits and exercising control with your finances, which is what got you in the position to give in the first place. To wrap up this part, while I would never encourage someone to help someone else out for the sole purpose of feeling good about themselves, there is certainly a level of positive emotion that comes from giving, which is a great way to increase the joy and meaning in your life.
Thanks, Mitch. Of course, there are different styles or ways to give. Some of us may want to be face-to-face with our giving and really get involved. Others might be more comfortable staying back and being anonymous. The important thing is don't let the discomfort stop you. You even have a choice in what you can give. It doesn't have to be money. Let's take the example of a homeless person. If you're not comfortable giving them cash, you can always opt to buy them food or a blanket or something that they can use that would make a difference to them. Of course, if we want to talk about some of the more traditional ways, there's always monthly contributions you can make to a charity of your choice. Always give to a charity that you relate to or are very passionate about. Now, if you're younger and maybe you're not making quite enough money to give yet, you do have something else that's an option, which is your time. Volunteering is another way to give. So for example, when I was younger, and even now, I find time to volunteer at homeless shelters, and I've done a few house builds for Habitat for Humanity, which is great. The side effect is that a lot of these volunteering opportunities teach you skills that you can use in real life, which is kind of a bonus. Something else you might have is a network or some connections to give to people. If you see one person who might need a job or needs some help, and you know somebody else who has a job opportunity or runs a foundation of some sort, you can always connect these people together and just help people out. Finally, one last idea might be to give your expertise. My wife Natalie, for example, is an accountant, and every year she goes to a senior's home and does their taxes for free. You can come up with so many different ways to give. There's gotta be something out there that fits your style and comfort level.
So making sure who receives the gift is just as important as the gift itself. Luckily, there are numerous ways to decide to whom you'd like to give. One of my personal favorite ways to give is to leave a generous tip for a restaurant or service industry worker. Pick someone who went above and beyond to serve you well, or maybe even someone who looks like they're having a rough day. You could also pay for a lucky stranger who's in line next to you, sitting behind you in the drive-thru, or eating at the next table over. If you're having trouble finding someone who's in real need of your giving, they may be closer than you think. Maybe there's someone at work who you know is struggling to pay their bills, or your children have friends in a family that are in need of car repairs. You could easily give anonymously through your company, or work with an auto shop to arrange fixing their car on your dime. For donating your time or expertise, you could also volunteer at a local school, nonprofit, or church for whatever current needs they have. And if you want to give on a consistent basis, you can choose to partner with outreach organizations around the world, sponsor a child, or even provide clean water for an impoverished community. And lastly, while I don't think that there's anything wrong with making a donation on behalf of yourself or an organization, I do recommend to consider giving anonymously if you can. When it comes to giving, it's important to be humble and in the right mindset of not wanting praise or recognition for what you've done. Besides, seeing the smile on someone's face when they discover your unexpected surprise is a gift in and of itself.
So when should you start giving? Well, giving can start anytime in your career, really. And if you're interested, you might be wondering, well, what's a good target? Should it be 5%, 10%? I used to always hear 10% when I was younger, but it's really what's most comfortable for you. You can do what I did and just start with 1%, see how that goes, and if you find it's not impacting your financial goals, you can look at increasing it later. If you're younger, I'd encourage just starting at 1%. Really, that's 1 cent of every dollar. You still have some financial hurdles ahead of you, so you might be saving up for a new place or a car or something. So start with 1%, look to increase it later, and in the meantime, you can do some volunteering. After you're financially independent, you can give exponentially. You won't be worried that giving is going to take away from some of your other financial targets or some of your bills. But until that point, remember, it's not selfish to cover your own bills and pay off your own debts before you give to others. Remember that being responsible with your money now will let you be able to give more later on. And for some clarity on that, Mitch is going to finish this off with a couple of points.
Yeah, Sean, I totally agree that you want to make sure you're in a good position before you start giving, which is why you might want to consider becoming debt-free before you start giving so that you can give more consistently. You'll be less likely to need the money that you're giving away because in order to be able to take care of others, you must take care of yourself first.
So basically, give an amount you feel good about that doesn't put stress on your own finances. And you'll find you don't need as much money as you think. Thank you, Mitch, for teaming up with me on this one. You guys have a great week, spread the wealth, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.